Most people think they need to go viral, have a massive team, spend millions on ads to get to 7 figures, but I'm going to prove to you that that's all wrong. I'm going to show you how I plan to make at least £1 million in the next 12 months with a lean, scalable team. And I'm going to show you the processes behind it so you can steal it for yourself. I'm going to give you everything: my offer, my pricing, my traffic sources, my sales strategy, my team structure, and obviously how I plan to get case studies on autopilot. So the first step in any business is obviously a no-brainer offer. I need to offer something to the market that is so obvious that they can't turn it down. Everyone's read The Big Purple Book by Alex Hormozi. You guys know the drill. But in the past, we've kind of been stuck doing this one thing. So now when I think about our offer, it's broken down into 3 sections. We've got completely done for you services. So that's where we build your funnels, we build your ads, we build custom AI agents and a sales system for you. This is all done for you. That's our highest priced product and service. We even get a team to shoot your videos and ads. That costs people at least 10 to 15 grand because, hey, it is a lot of work, but it's worth it. We do it for 3 to 4 months. That's going to be our bread and butter program. Our mid-tier kind of thing is like consulting. So it has a lot of the done for you elements, except we don't do all of the work and we consult people somewhere in the middle. This is going to be a little less and it's going to be more of a monthly recurring revenue play, but we're looking at anything from 1.5 to 2.5 grand per month. And the third part, which is going to be a bit less of a focus, but it's going to be coaching. And that's where we pretty much will coach someone through the process. Obviously, that's going to be a lot cheaper. There's not going to be any one-to-one hands-on coaching. It's going to be more of a group thing, a course material kind of thing. And that's not something we're even going to be talking about or pushing. But the good thing about having it is it does give us some recurring revenue. So those are the 3 tiers. A lot of people think, oh, you can't have all these offers. I'm now of the belief that you have one signature offer and you have some drop downs just in case people don't fit that bucket. Because as you know, when you run ads, only 3% of your market is ready to buy right now. And look, even with the done for you side, we're not really an agency. We're a growth partner. So what we want to do, and the goal is that by the end of the 3 to 4 months, we help scale companies and then we partner so that we get a chunk of their revenue. That's the plan. That's the goal. That's the strategy. And that allows us to have exponential growth in the future. And I guess you could compare it to like a chef, right? You got a private chef that does everything. And then you got the consulting side, which is like going to a high-end chef class. And then we deliver coaching, which is kind of like a self-service buffet with a guide, basically. Your offer structure can literally make or break your chances of seeing 7 figures. And the good thing is that we've been doing this for so long that we've kind of got an idea of what makes a good offer. And obviously there's tweaks along the way, but we're happy with what we've built so far. So here's the play. You've built a sick offer, but if no one knows about your offer, you will not make money. So now we've been thinking about how can we get as much eyeballs on this offer as humanly possible. Traffic. We got some core traffic channels: LinkedIn, YouTube and Instagram, Facebook ads, cold email and cold DMs. So there's quite a few sources there, right? And if we break it down, on LinkedIn, we're maximizing all the ads we can do each day. So it's roughly around 200 per week, which works out to be 800 a month. And if we get at least 50% acceptance rate, that's an extra 400 people a month. Over the course of a year, that's another 5,000 people in our network. Then obviously we're doing outreach via LinkedIn. We aim to create 50 to 100 conversations per day, but we are not being blunt with like a sales pitch. We're now just having conversations. And that's really the biggest shift that I've made on my LinkedIn, is like, let's just focus on having as many conversations as possible, not trying to sell everyone. And then obviously from there, we then host a webinar 1 to 2 times a month and we invite our whole contact list. You can invite 1,000 people. So if you invite the right people, which is what we're doing, and we invite 1,000 of those every single month, even if 1% show up, we're going to be winners. With our price point, we'll be winners. If we can sell 10 packages of our highest service, that's already 150 grand a month, right? And we haven't got to sell all 10 to make $1 million for the year. And that's kind of why we need to have that high value service where a lot of it is done for you. A lot of the pain is taken away for a lot of major businesses. So that's that. With LinkedIn, we chase dream clients because of obviously on LinkedIn, you can literally target the type of person that you want. Now, Instagram is a little bit different. It's a little bit harder, but we basically look at our competitors and we target certain accounts. We do a little bit of cold outreach and we just do some general following people and engaging with accounts that we know can help build our social presence. And obviously we're also posting content over there as well. So we do get an element of inbound leads coming from the content that we post, as well as LinkedIn as well. So we post similar content across these platforms. Cold email. Cold email is a bit more of a harder strategy to gauge, but what we do is we actually just blast out anything from 300 to 500 emails per day to a list that we've curated with CEOs, founders, consultants, people that we really want to target, and we give them like a free offering. It's just a way for us to get our foot in the door, and then eventually, we try to have a chat and move it to a sales conversation. Right now, we're doing that at high volume, high volume, because we don't want to put too much money into advertising just yet, because the budget, transparently, is just not quite there. Then YouTube and organic content, which is what I'm making right now. The whole point of this is basically to show you guys that we're good at what we do, we know what we're doing, and attract the right types of people so that they will eventually buy from us. We also use this as a nurturing tool for our next step, which is paid ads. So we run ads every day, right? And our ads are very basic and direct. We call people out. We say, hey, we can help you fix X, Y, Z. If you want this help, please book a call. They have to qualify by answering certain questions. Once they fill it out and they qualify, then we'll get them on a sales call. If they don't qualify, unfortunately, they will not get on a sales call because we ain't got time to waste with broke people. Regardless, even if they click our ad and they become a lead, we still send them stuff like this because this nurtures people. So we create long videos, we send it over to nurture our audience so that eventually when it is time to buy, when they do have a budget, when the money is coming in, they are ready, right? And that's really, really important. And with all our outreach strategies, it's not just about tons and tons of volume. It is about being focused. So we make sure we scrape good quality lists. We create lists with the right people, the right business owners, whether it's real estate, whether it's consulting, whether it's coaches, whether it's estate agents. Like we really try to focus on creating a good quality list. We've been targeting a lot of financial advisors, a lot of tax advisors recently, because those are the markets that have been coming out to us through our ads. So now we can actually repurpose our outbound strategy by noticing what's working for us from an ads perspective. And that's really what's been like a big focus for us recently. And then the paid advertising, I think the biggest problem is a lot of people think that as soon as they run a paid ad, they're going to make money. What makes a paid ad work is what happens after someone actually clicks your ad and gives you their email and phone number. Now we've built a system that automates everything. They click our ad, they get a WhatsApp message, they get a selfie video, they get a voice note, they get a text, they get an email, and there's a sequence to try and warm them up and get them to watch a few of our videos as quickly as humanly possible before then hopping on a sales call. And a lot of businesses do not have this implemented properly, which is why they see poor return from their ads. So with the paid ad side of things, it's quite simple. Your landing page needs to be clear. Headline with your promise, a video, and a calendar to make a sale. That's literally it. Keep it simple. You do not need a website. Just keep it simple. And you need to make sure on your calendar, you have at least 1 or 2 qualifying questions that will help you book more sales calls. That's really the key because you don't want to get on the phone with people that are not the right fit. And to be honest, something that I've really been kind of fighting with right now is I don't want to get on the phone with people that are broke. It sounds harsh, but if you don't have money and you're not qualified, then why are you getting on our calendar? That's kind of how you have to approach it when you start running ads, because essentially you are paying to speak to that person. So you only want to pay to speak to the right people. That's the mentality you need to have when it comes to running ads. You also need to make sure you have multi-channel touch points. You cannot just rely on one touch point, whether it's just a text message or a phone call. It should be text message, phone call, email, DM on Instagram, DM on LinkedIn. Like make sure when you're nurturing a new lead from your paid advertising, there is a cycle they go through in which you reach out and touch points with them just so you can get them in for that sales call. It's very, very important that you get that right. And then there's some other extra things that we like to do. We do a webinar or a workshop live 1 to 2 times a month. Very, very powerful way to convert people that are on your list. They're warm, but they ain't quite ready to make that next step, because there's nothing better than like being in a room with someone and getting to know them before they obviously make that journey and make that step with you. And another thing that we like to do is obviously make YouTube videos. And on top of that, we also have a lot of freebies that we give away. We give away a ton of freebies, and that just helps. When you give away free stuff like guides, cheat sheets, it just helps people conceptualize what it's really like to work with you. And this can work no matter what type of business you do, because there's always something you can give away for free. Now, you can't really scale to £1 million alone. I mean, you probably could, but it's not the kind of business that you'd probably want or work very well. You can scale to £1 million as a solo business, but it is difficult. So the truth is you need a team, and I need a team. Obviously, I've got a co-founder, so that's Michael, and there's a couple areas in the business that we need, right? So there's obviously sales, which we still do. There's strategy, which we still do. Then we have ops manager who manages the campaigns and helps our clients to fulfill their services. Then we've got a media buyer who helps manage all the Facebook ad campaigns and all the ad accounts, which is, again, very, very important. We have freelance video editors and freelance landing page designers. And then we also have appointment setter who basically helps us book more sales calls. Now, that's a pretty small team, a pretty lean team for an agency. So for us, that's healthy. And we know that when we make really good profits and when we get to that million, it's not going to kill us too much. We want to get to the point where we're seeing 60 to 70% profits on that million, right? And that's kind of where we want to get to. So if we can keep the team fairly lean, we'll get there. And that's really the key. You don't need thousands of employees and you don't need thousands of clients, because when your price point's right and your delivery's right, it's easy. And we've really standardized our delivery process. So we focus on delivering like only 1 of 2 things: customized AI agents and AI setup, or paid advertising and campaign management. Those are the 2 things we do. We're not doing anything else, all right? If there is extra work, it's extra pay for the time compensated to make things. That's really how it works. That's as simple as it gets. Now, a lot of people don't realize this, but their clients are their best salespeople, and our clients are our best salespeople. But we have to collect case studies and testimonials. So we pretty much have an automated case study collection kind of strategy. Every week we do a weekly report, and within that weekly report, we kind of weave in that, hey, you know, is there like, what's the best thing that's happened this week, etc., etc. That automatically gets us a testimonial because we know that we're doing good work for the clients. So we kind of try to move it in a way where that weekly report is also kind of masked as a feedback loop as well, a positive feedback loop, especially when we're getting wins. So that's screenshots. We also ask clients to do videos if they're happy with things, so like video testimonials. We screenshot accounts when they're getting loads of leads booked, stuff like that. And a lot of behind the scenes stuff, YouTube breakdowns, all that kind of stuff. This really helps us because the more testimonials we have, the more legitimate we are. Again, the more people trust us, the more money we can make as business owners. And then we just have to think about the numbers. For us to get to 1 million a year, we're looking at 83 grand a month. I just told you that our biggest price package at the moment is around 10 to 15 grand. So if we can get 5 done for you clients, if we can get 5 consulting clients at maybe 1 to 2K per month, and then we have maybe 20 coaching clients at 1K, and then adding some low digital offers, we're easily touching that 30 grand a month. But in an ideal world, I would like to have probably 6 to 8 of the 15 grand clients, and then probably 5 to 10 of the 2K consulting clients, because those 2K consulting clients are monthly recurring revenue clients. And all of this is basically every month we know we need to hit 83K. And that's our target every month, hit 83K. Obviously, we have recurring revenue coming in, and then we just have to top it up with some additional sales. So alongside that, we also have to heavily focus on retention to make sure we can scale to that, because if we don't get to 83K. We never get there. So we have to make sure we're also delivering a great service. That's always the number one thing, to be honest. And when it comes to sales, you know, it's quite simple. If we can just do 80 calls a month, our goal is to get 80 qualified sales calls a month and be closing at 25 to 30% every single time. You know, if we maintain that kind of pace, we would hit 7 figures. Maintaining our retention is also going to be important for us to do that, and obviously increasing the lifetime value of those clients in that time frame. And throughout this whole process, we're testing ads, we're testing different budgets, we're testing different ad creatives, testing different hooks, we're testing different content on YouTube. Like, we're always testing new things because we don't want to be the last company to implement, because then we'll be behind. And that always bugs me, because I want to be ahead of the game, not behind the game. And if you want to know exactly how we structure our Facebook ad campaigns, I actually left a description of a free masterclass that I did. The link is somewhere below. Now, that's pretty much it. That's our kind of game plan to get to 1 million. It's going to be hard. I don't sit here and pretend, oh, it's going to be easy, we're going to make 1 million overnight. No, there's a process to this. And we're kind of fully bought into the process. We're taking our time, but now we're going to push things into overdrive. And I wanted to share this with you because this might be something that you need in your business, just broken down so that you can eventually get to 1 million in a year, which some people just don't have the ambition to do it. I just think that anyone can do it if you just put your mind and your heart and your soul into it. Although you shouldn't put your soul into money, you know, you'll get there, trust me. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And if you are trying to get to 1 million and you want to know the exact ads campaign strategy that we use, again, I'm going to tell you, watch this video right here. Peace.